Now, here at Netflix, we want to make Cleopatra a real good show. Hey, why don't you fire all those writers and let's hire that diversity expert. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend, where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants, shine the light of awareness on woke absurdities, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters. Let's get into some woke absurdities. They keep shooting themselves in the feet and wondering what the hell happened. Well, that came from the trigger you pulled, you morons. So Netflix, they've certainly not been shy about being as woke as possible, and I don't think ever having it work for them. But so Netflix, they've just come out with Queen Cleopatra, a series about Cleopatra, a historical figure, which is an actual human being, and she is historically and provably white. She's Greek, she's Caucasian. Awesome, there she is. Nothing wrong with that. But Netflix says, what if we make that white person black? How many diversity, equity, inclusion points will that get us? Well, a few? Awesome, let's do it. And then the show comes out and has literally the lowest rating possible on Rotten Tomatoes. It's said to be the lowest rated show in Netflix history. They come out and they have a 1% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's just great. A critic score of about 11%, which is still absurdly low. And usually critics will just like kind of feel virtue signaled, coerced into giving woke shows a higher rating, but no, they gave it a very low rating. So 1% audience approval rating. Netflix, you went woke. Probably not gonna go broke, but this ain't gonna help your bottom line now, is it? Now, it could just be me, but it's like, cool, like have shows with black characters, awesome, like they're awesome, great, do that. But if you got a show that's portraying an actual human being who happened to be white, I think what we're learning here is that's not the time and place to then just pretend she's black. It's kind of like Abraham Lincoln. He was a white guy. If you want to make a show portraying Abraham Lincoln, you probably want the character to be white because he was white, if you want to be historically accurate. And if you don't, like, just make fiction. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But Netflix, instead of virtue signaling and literally using black people to appear to be more virtuous, which is you using black people, it's the opposite of what you're trying to do. So instead of using black people, why don't you actually have integrity and find a black historical figure you want to make a show out of and use a black person for that? But Netflix, I don't know, you look a little suspicious. It's almost like you don't care enough to want to make a show about a historical black person. Why don't you sit with that, Netflix? So looking at a report on this from the Gateway Pundit, woke race-swapping Netflix's Cleopatra series gets worst audience score in TV history. It's quite an achievement. You gotta work hard for that to happen. It is such an obvious rewrite of history that even the government of Egypt objects to the series. Reviews for the series are absolutely brutal. It has the lowest audience score in TV history. Now, what does Egypt have to say about this? Clicking over to the Post-Millennial, let's take a little look-ski. This is the Egyptian ministry. He, she, or they says, since the film is classified as a documentary and not a drama, those making the film have to be accurate, and it should be based on historical and scientific facts to ensure that history and civilizations are not falsified. That's kind of an important point. Don't falsify history. Don't rewrite history. Don't ban the books. Don't burn the books. Don't try to brainwash people into thinking something happened that didn't happen. History is very important to preserve because I think history is one of our greatest teachers. But if you rewrite history, we lose one of our greatest teachers and dangerous things can happen. What else did they say? The rejection of the film before its screening was a defense of the history of Queen Cleopatra and has nothing to do with racism, says the Egyptian ministry. Lawyer Mohammed El-Simari filed a formal complaint to investigate and possibly ban Netflix in Egypt over the controversy. That's pretty fun. We have known for thousands of years that Cleopatra is of Greek origin and was born in Egypt. So that's why the Egyptians are taking this kind of personally. This is a fact, he said. Our main objection is the falsification of these facts. It is not about being black or white or even yellow. Let's say they wanted to portray Cleopatra as a man. We would also object to that. Now, as you know, I love freedom and you love freedom. So, my point of view, Netflix is absolutely free to do this racial swap if they want. And of course, people are free to respond to it how they want. Watch it if they don't. Only people watching it now are like hate watching it. They're like, okay, how bad is this? So not only was there a race swap, but which really disrespectful to the Egyptian origins and Greek origins of Queen Cleopatra, offends the Egyptians, but apparently also it's just like a terrible show. Like it got a 1% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Now I've heard that's actually bumped up to 2%. I'm sure there's a lot of wokesters getting on there on hordes like, dude, we gotta like review this and like give it positive ratings. Have it come across as 2% approval rather than 1%. You know, double how good it is. So I love that they're free to do that, whether it works out well or not, whether it's based on a lack of integrity and just virtuously, well, it's not virtuously, but an attempt to be virtuous when in fact it's actually a shameless use of black people to prop up Netflix, making them appear to be very inclusive. But to me, it's using black people. They're free to do that. Cool, do what you want, whether it works for you or works against you. The biggest issue I have with this is the assault on truth. Communists, Marxists, they look to destroy truth. And we have seen the attempt to destroy truth in our country over and over and over again through fact checkers coming at you when you're saying true things that are not convenient for the narrative. Censorship. The Biden administration launched their Ministry of Truth last year. Luckily, it crashed and burned, but they're still trying to do the same thing. The FBI communicating with Twitter, getting certain people censored with certain political points of view, getting certain truths censored, frontline doctors being silenced. An assault on truth is an absolute problem. And truth is what I'll always stand for, because without truth, we don't have a democracy. Without truth, you don't have freedom. So I think Netflix, their move here, it was an assault on truth. Now, it's not like the deepest assault on truth ever. It's an assault on truth. It's another straw on the camel's back of truth in an attempt to break it. Unto itself, who cares? But looking at the mass assault on truth that's going on in our world, it is important to protect and preserve truth, because truth is synonymous with freedom. And the really good news is the people have spoken. The people have spoken in a very strong way, standing for truth and railing against an attempt to abolish a truth that Netflix was trying to do. And that, my friends, is very inspiring, seeing so many people strongly stand for truth. I don't care if it's a truth I like. I don't care if it's a truth I don't like. I don't care if it's an inconvenient truth relative to my perspective, my agenda, or it's convenient. I stand for truth, and it's really cool to see the masses in this Netflix Cleopatra case. They're standing for truth as well. That's very inspiring. Truth, my friends, is winning. I appreciate you watching this video with me, my friend. I want to give a big shout out, thank you to Organifi for supporting me, this channel, and our viewers. I have something I want to tell you. My health and fitness is very important to me. It's something I take very seriously. In part because I'm a narcissist, but also I simply love to feel and function at my best so I can be productive and have a good quality of life. And that's exactly why I love Organifi, because it helps support my health and fitness goals. Organifi is a line of organic superfood blends that offers your body superb nutrition and high quality ingredients. We all know that you are what you eat. And when it comes to working out, you have to rebuild your muscles with high quality ingredients. But unfortunately, it's not as simple as just getting your macros of proteins, fats, and carbs. You also need high quality micronutrients if you want to keep progressing towards your goals and recovering from your workouts. And that's exactly what Organifi is perfect for. The first part of my morning routine every day is the Organifi green juice blend. It's convenient, it's delicious, and it costs less than $3 a day. If you want to treat yourself to the best organic superfoods on the planet, then go to Organifi.com/JP. And while you're there, use the code JP for 20% off. Enjoy.